So, hello, fellow Earthlings. This is Earthling 6455463728. And this one is about how I lost my aunt because of a question that I never actually got to ask her. Now, lost her how? Um, I guess our relationship is kind of over. Maybe not exactly, but I think it's kind of over, probably. I have an aunt, did not have a relationship with her as I was growing up. As it is, we are actually close in age. She might just be a little bit, maybe 5, 10 years older than me. And we have become closer as I have, as an adult. I've been an adult, and my father died and stuff. So, you know, Facebook, social media, um, I can call her up every once in a while. She might give me a happy birthday or something. In the longest period of time, we were not in contact. Anyway, um, I needed uh, joint somebody to be a joint on an account with me. Um, so I called her to do that a couple of times because I wanted to invest in some stuff, and I just needed somebody else in there in order to be able to um, maximize the protection for my money, for example. Um, anyway, she was okay with that. I had another aunt who I guess thinks that I might be a drug dealer or a money launderer or something like that. When I asked her, she was like, "No, I don't think so, buddy. I'm doing it with other people." I don't know what she was thinking, but yeah. Anyway, so I needed to open another kind of account, and I was getting some problems um, getting the account open. So like when I went to whatever institution or whatever it was, they were like, nope, you need more stuff than this, or you need somebody to co-sign with you, blah 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 blah. So now I want my aunt to just say like, she is kind of like provides money for me. Not that she actually has to provide the money, but just to say that, she's partially how I have money. Um, and I said, you know what? You can absolutely say no, blah, 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 blah. You don't have to do this. But I just didn't come out and say, hey, this is what I need. I kind of stretched it out. Anyway, she was involved with something at the time. So she's like, you know what? Let me call you back. And she has never called me back. This is a couple months ago. And that in itself is not a big deal. I could call her back. That's not a problem. The problem is that, like I said, we've been in contact over social media. And from that day to now, she has not um, looked at anything that I've sent her on social media. Um, you can see when people look at the stuff you send them. I would just send her like, the same thing that everybody sends on social media. Interesting stories, a video, a clip, a screenshot of this or that or whatever. And I would just send stuff to her. And she would send stuff to me, not as much, a fraction of the time. Um, and from that day on, she is just not. So as far as I'm concerned, um, I don't want to say she ghosted me because I have not reached out to her to not get a response. But if you say you're going to call me back and you don't call me back, okay. If you also, um, I guess, pretend that I don't exist by not looking at the stuff that I send you on social media as well, um, I, I can safely say at that point, I don't know that she would necessarily ghost me if I called. or I did found some other way to reach out, but I kind of I'm just gonna respect her wishes, and it hurts, you know, it hurts to have someone who's supposed to be family just like, okay, I don't know what craziness, if he really is a drug dealer or whatever, like my sister thought, or whatever, I don't know what he was gonna ask me necessarily. Just say no and let's move on. That's one of the first things that I said to everybody. Just say no. You know, feel free. But no. I guess she doesn't know how to say no. That's really hard. I can feel that, and I remember a video from a long time ago. What was the name of this channel on YouTube? Seeker. They said that people tend to be afraid of things that are coming up, like, days of the week, like a man walking towards you, that seems more reasonable, or a woman, or an appointment, or whatever it is. People seem to get fearful and anxious about things that are coming up. And I guess her anticipation of calling me back, or me calling her, or answering or interacting with me, or whatever concern she might have had, um, that was just so overwhelming that she just postponed, postponed, postponed until it just became probably, oh my God, I can't do anything. It's just, I know she's just completely embarrassed to interact with me in any way, shape, or form. And part of what I have come to realize is that that is not about me. People act how they act. If somebody is hardworking, I remember hearing, if you want to get something done, give it to somebody who's really busy because that person gets things done. If you give something to someone who is not busy, they don't have much that is on their plate, they're probably never going to get to it because they're not in the habit of doing things. And I don't know what experiences that my aunt might have had that would have put her in that situation where she just can't have a conversation with somebody, but that's not about me. I remember again, I was a kid in high school, and in my neighborhood, I was walking and I saw my teacher up ahead. And as we got closer, I saw that he ducked into a shop um, between me and him. And as I was passing him and the shop, he comes out of the shop as I'm passing. And I realized, oh, this guy is trying to avoid me. And I know that it can feel like, oh my God, you know, take it personally. One can take these things personally, but it's not me. It was him. That's how he was. He was not an outgoing person. He was not someone who was particularly, I don't want to say the word friendly, but it, he probably would have done that with anybody and everybody. He was not that kind of person who was approachable or desirous of approaching anybody. He's a kind of a loner. And I remember my neighbor. Sometime I was, and even stuff that I would have done. That sometime I did not want to see anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I didn't want to have a conversation. So you know, I was supposed to. I needed to go to my car, and if I went to my car, then my neighbor would see me. So I just tried to do what I could needed to do without being seen. And I think my neighbor got, his feelings hurt because, but it had nothing to do with him. It's just I did not want a conversation. But yeah, whatever the case is, I don't see how. my aunt's gonna be able to just come back and say, well, first off, at the end of the day, she doesn't want to do what I asked was going to ask her to do. Whatever she thinks it might be or guesses that it might be, she doesn't want to do it. Um, so I don't see how that will change ever in the course of her life. Um, so, but anyway, I have this thing that I do in where, I feel that I can get more relaxed with someone, so I'm not upset with them anymore. And that's where I pretend to talk to the person and just say what I need to say. And then afterwards I feel fine and it's like, who cares? Otherwise I can go over this stuff over and over and over and over in my head forever. And anytime I think about it, I'll feel hurt or something. Um, but I don't know that I did it completely with my aunt. I think there's some residual. And when that happens, when I pretend to talk to the person and it doesn't work, I realize that's because I am not being 120% honest about my feelings, about what happened. Um, isn't that kind of weird? I'm in control of this situation, this make-believe situation, and I'm not 100% honest. Well, yeah, I, I I don't know what it is, or at least I feel like consciously I don't know what it is, but I probably just need to say everything that I can conceivably think of, that I'm upset, maybe I hate them, blah, 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 and then maybe what any residual feelings of of anything should be handled, should be, if I see them in the street, I'd be like, hey, how you doing? And no kind of pretense on my part, just completely and utterly clean slate. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna have to do that, I think, maybe. So we will see. Anyway, thanks for listening and being my therapist for a minute here. Um, yeah, I probably need to say that I'm really angry and all that other stuff in my pretend session. And then, because really what happens is that when I do that and it's all good, even the thought of of the issue, it's like, psst, I already I already dealt with that. And that's not necessarily how I feel right now. So I probably do need to get something else out. Anyway, again, thanks for listening. Have a good one. Peace.